This is in regard to Chief Mapiyeye's suspension on 25th September 2024. And in particular, it invites you to provide the reasons, basis, and necessity thereof, including factors taken into consideration in suspending him. That's on the one hand. You are further requested to provide all council resolutions concerning the allegations of sexual harassment against a fellow officer leveled against Chief Mapiyeye and the subsequent disciplinary processes initiated on 20 November 2024. So it's quite a compound question. You respond quite extensively to that question, starting from your paragraph 144 to 167. Before we get to your answer, I would like to refer you to Chief Mapiyeye's statement, because I have a request to make to you. Page? Yes, I'm going to take you to the page. And page 30 of Mapiyeye. And under a heading titled Laying of Trumped Up Charges Against Me, he deals with this issue of his suspension from paragraph 112 to 115. So technically in 4 paragraphs. And I want you to satisfy yourself that in dealing with his suspension and the basis thereof, he does not mention any names of any ladies affected by the charges brought against him. And he did so deliberately. And I will confirm that in his oral testimony, he also did not mention any names. And insofar as I'm concerned, I think that's an appropriate approach. The issues that are sought to be interrogated can be so interrogated without naming names. I see in your statement, however, you introduce the victim's name or victims' names. And I reference you Chief Mapiyeye's statement and also his testimony to implore you to resist the urge to mention the specific people by name, but otherwise you may deal with your response in its entirety. As I understand, one or some of them may be mothers and wives, and perhaps to avoid unnecessary embarrassment, whether to themselves directly, their families, or their children, to suggest that we can deal with the issues without mentioning their names. They are in your statement, and if you agree with my proposition, then their names will be duly redacted from your statement. Are we able to approach the matter on that basis? Agreed. Thank you. Then you may address the questions posed to you. You start at paragraph 144 to page 167. And I invite you to deal with those questions in the manner that is most comfortable for you. Thank you.
Okay. The first question is about the victim that submitted a formal complaint to me containing extremely serious allegations of sexual harassment, coercion, intimidation, and abuse of authority by the Chief of Police. Upon receiving this complaint, I immediately forwarded the matter to the Executive Mayor of the city of Ekurhuleni. And in terms of the processes of the city, my report to the Executive Mayor must be accompanied by this formal complaint and a report. Or the report must include the formal complaint as an attachment, which I did. The complaint came to me, I think, in July 2024. I struggled to convince the Executive Mayor to entertain the report. as I believe that the report has serious misconduct against a senior official. And it is my responsibility as an accounting officer in terms of the code of conduct of senior managers that should I become aware of any misconduct, I should immediately report to council, which I did. But the process of reporting to council, I must first go through the mayoral committee, and I was blocked. I received the complaint in July. I thought this report would serve in the mayoral committee end of July. Unfortunately, I was blocked. And I tried again in August to submit the report to the mayoral committee. The first time, it was never even entertained. The second time, the mayor was in Cape Town, and there was acting mayor, and he said he'd rather wait for the mayor to address the issue. Then because I had the pressure of dealing with this, because I'm supposed to deal with this matter within a specific period, I decided to take the report straight to council, because the legislation does allow that if you are blocked by the executive, the responsibility of disciplining senior managers lies squarely on council. Then I took the report straight to council. Unfortunately, there was a backlash. Council could not accept the report. They had to take the report back to the mayoral committee, for mayoral committee to consider the report. Before the consideration of the report, I was called by the mayor and the MMC Finance, and a guy called Absalom Budeli from ANC, indicating that I should stop the process of disciplining or of serving the report to council about the misconduct, the sexual harassment misconduct of Mr. Mapiyeye. In that meeting, they also suggested that I should take special leave, that is from end of September until December. And then after December, the mayor would consider paying me out the remainder of the term according to my retirement age. In that meeting, I indicated to them that, and MMC Finance specifically said, I undermined their authority as leadership of the ANC, and they're in charge of council. I undermined their authority by taking the report direct to council. And in my response, I indicated that you guys frustrated me for 2 months, and this is a pressing matter. The subordinate in question is working in the office of the chief of police. And for us to protect the subordinate and to actually address the matter properly, we need to go through to council and ensure that council satisfies itself and determine whether the chief of police should be put on precautionary suspension or the chief of police should be disciplined. The meeting didn't end well, and I refused to take special leave. I indicated to the executive mayor that I'm retiring end of July, and I will not take any leave. I'm going to work, continue to work, but I agree with you that you need changes, and I will.
Dr. Mashazi, at a convenient point, perhaps not more than a sentence, can you please stop? We need to deal with something.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we stop at this point?
Agreed.
Or may we stop at this point?
Agreed, Chair.
All right. We'll come back when, maybe 5 minutes, give or take. Yeah.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. That I think you go on special leave, and you indicated that you rejected that offer. So you may take the conversation from there.
Yeah, I'm trying to demonstrate that my challenges came when I wanted to suspend Chief of Police, and which was my responsibility as an accounting officer to bring to the attention of council. Nonetheless, the report went to council finally, and subsequent to that, council considered the report and deliberated upon the allegations. And the Chief of Police was, I wrote a letter to the Chief of Police for the intention to suspend him post-council resolution or post-council meeting. The annexures that are attached in terms of the council resolution, in terms of his suspension, he subsequently went to the Labour Court, to the bargaining council, to challenge his suspension. Unfortunately, the suspension was upheld by the bargaining council, and he continued to be on suspension. Then council requested that I report to council within 30 days in terms of the progress, which we did, where council decided that he should be, during the council meeting of October, that the Chief of Police should be formally disciplined. That is the decision, and we have actually attached an annexure to support the notion that council did not authorize the accounting officer to discipline the Chief of Police. Is annexure IM 25. November, the Chief of Police, 18th of November, Chief of Police was issued with a notice to attend the disciplinary hearing. And that is where I end in terms of my response.
Thank you. You have annexed as annexure IM 26 to your statement. The charge sheet served on Mr. Mapiyeye regarding the sexual harassment allegations proffered against him. Is that correct?
We agreed that what was required was the council resolution, and we withdraw this. I'm not sure whether you still recall that you indicated that what was required was the actual council resolution, which were questioned by the Chief of Police. And we agreed that we no longer use this as an annex. Am I correct?
No.
Okay.
No, we are dealing.
Okay, let me withdraw.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Let me withdraw.
No, I think what we agreed on is when we get to the charges proffered against Chief Mapiyeye, we will not mention the names of the ladies impacted. That's the agreement. But not that we are not dealing with your response and your allegations against Mr. Mapiyeye. And it is important that we do so because when you started your testimony, that's precisely where you started to complain about the predatory nature of Chief Mapiyeye over an extended course within the department. And in response to some of the issues arising there from yesterday, you indicated that you will articulate better or say more when we deal specifically with this question. So we are there. And you actually justified your references to Mr. Mapiyeye's unacceptable conduct in harassing female members. And you specifically made reference to his subsequent suspension from the 24th of September as validation of the claims that you make at your paragraph 50.1, where you say it has been widely reported to you that Chief Mapiyeye fathered multiple children with subordinates, sexual harassment, coercion, and rape. You remember there was a bit of engagement between yourself and the commissioners on those allegations, and specifically what you did.
Okay.
And you and I also had an engagement on that. And yesterday you said you will deal more with these issues to demonstrate that you took them seriously.
Correct.
That you subsequently suspended him and you initiated disciplinary proceedings.
Correct.
So what we've just dealt with now is the second half of that question, which basically sought to establish whether counsel had authorized. And you have demonstrated that counsel had duly authorized that firstly an investigation be undertaken, and secondly, having been persuaded, I won't say by you, but I would say by report to counsel, that the allegations were serious enough that they justified approval to initiate disciplinary processes, which you duly subsequently did. Are we still together thus far?
Correct.
So now we are at this part where we are looking at these charges. I take it because you suspended him, he reports to you, and based on his seniority, you kept yourself informed of the progress of that disciplinary process, did you? Well, not chapter and verse, but, in essence, he being your direct report, you would want to know progress because he can forever be on suspension. Yes. So did you keep an eye, quote unquote, on the matter in the manner that I have suggested?
Correct.
I'm going to share a quick file. It's an exhibit file of documents we have put together. It will be distributed shortly. These are documents pertaining to these very charges that you speak of. And in particular, they will deal with the rape allegation that you spoke to at length yesterday that were leveled against Mr. Mapiyeye. So just a pile of documents, and I'll tell us where to go at which juncture. 1 for the witness and 3 for the commissioners, please. And that's the commission's exhibit bundle. Chair, how do we mark it? Do we call it?
You should have been keeping the running exhibits list.
Let me just check. I am told that the next number is CJC 52 capital A. Yes.
CJC what?
CJC 52 capital A. I'm reliably informed.
Let's trust you on this.
I'm trusting Advocate Mutlasedi, and I see Commissioner Baloyi also nodding in agreement.
So much.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Now, you annexed the charge sheet of about 12 counts, and that charge sheet you've marked, I am 25.
Okay.
I apologize, 26. I am 26. And this deals with misconduct by Chief Mapiyeye, spanning a period of at least 13 years, from 2011 to 2023 or 2024, on my last count. Is that correct? Give or take a year?
Correct.
Is that a fair assessment?
Correct.
And yes, count 1 is said to have arisen on or about 2010 or 2011. That's count 1.
Yes.
The last count, and they go sequentially, is I think count number 11 or 12 at page 113, and now the date there is the 29th of July 2024, and every other date in between, to give cumulatively about 12 charges, independent charges of sexual harassment and rape. Am I correct?
Correct.
Are you aware, and this is dated the 20th of November 2024, he having been suspended on the 25th of September 24.
Correct.
The document you have annexed also includes a notice to appear in a disciplinary hearing, and that appearance was scheduled for the 28th of November 2024.
Correct.
Do you confirm that that hearing was held on the scheduled date or soon thereafter? To your knowledge, was it held?
Can you repeat the question?
Was that hearing that was scheduled for the 28th of November 2024 proceeded with, was it held on that scheduled day?
I
You don't
cannot
know.
recall.
Are you aware, and before we deal with this, I must place on record that Chief Mapiyeye was very much as he is aggrieved, rightly or wrongly, and that is not the issue really, he was very hesitant to deal with these matters. And that's why, hence the brevity in his statement, to mention purely that he was he was suspended, subjected to the process, and the process is ongoing. And the reason he advanced for the brevity is that he did not want to seem to be abusing this process, this commission, for labor matters that already are being addressed in an appropriate forum. That was his explanation. And he resisted and indeed did not go into detail about these matters. But now that you brought them to the fore, I think it's only appropriate that the fuller picture be provided, because I believe you don't provide as full and as truthful a picture as I believe you are able to, at most, or at the very least, you ought to be able to, because you were city manager. So I propose to assist you in that regard. Are you aware that on the 23rd of January 2025, in the course of that hearing, the prosecutor against Mr. Mapiyeye filed an amended charge sheet, and that appears in exhibit I've just given you at page 70. You want to satisfy yourself? And at page 70, there was a serious culling of the charges, and to reduce them from the original number of 1211, and I say 1211 because of how they are structured. It's supposed to be two charges, charge one having multiple counts, 11 counts, and then there is charge two separately. So, for ease of reference, let's call them 12 charges. When these were amended, if you read Annexure 7 of the Annexure 8 of the exhibit from 70, certain counts and the facts originally pleaded to support those counts have been culled, and there's been a reduction. Would you have a difficulty with that proposal?
I will, Commissioner, because the issue of DC, it is handled by the Department of HR together with the attorneys. We appoint external attorneys, one, to prepare charges, two, to participate in the disciplinary process of a senior manager.
Yes. But you brought the charge sheet to this environment, to this forum. Mr. Mapiyeye didn't. You brought it. And I'm saying if we are going to talk about charges leveled by the city of Ekurhuleni under your guidance against Chief Mapiyeye, it's only fair that we deal with them in their entirety. Otherwise, we are treating Chief Mapiyeye unfairly Whether or not he's guilty of these charges is neither here nor there. It is how we treat him. You brought it, we deal with it. So, I don't know how you got hold of that charge sheet, but I accept. Somebody in the department would probably have shared it with you, and you shared it with the commission. Did they share with you the amendment of the 23rd of January 2025?
No.
They didn't. Did they share with you the amended charge sheet of 4th of June 2025, appearing at page 17 of the exhibit under tab 3?
No.
And I would like to invite you specifically to that amended charge sheet. This is the latest charge sheet, dated 4th June 2025. According to Chief Mapiyeye in his statement at paragraph 113, he stated that the leading of evidence has concluded in this matter and heads of argument have been filed during October 2025. Argument is set down for 14 November 2025. So, by June, one would take it that significant evidence had been laid, because by October the same year, heads are being filed. And a set down for argument for the 14th of November is agreed upon. So if we go to the latest amended, and I would like to invite you to that document, page 17, please, under tab 4.
17, sorry. Which document?
The exhibit, the one that just got distributed.
Oh, this one.
Yes. The tabs are marked.
This one.
They are numbered 1 to whatever.
And then the name is file 3. Oh.
Yes, file 3. File 3, you're correct.
For Dr. Mashazi.
Yes.
Okay, page 17, 17.
All right, let's take a step back perhaps for a second. Let's start at 23, because that's the one we dealt with. But here you're looking at the wrong file. So just to make sure. At page 23, under tab 5, it reads, it's a document that is headed amended charge sheet in respect of disciplinary hearing, and you can tell that this is between the Metro and Chief Mapiyeye. Now, if you go to the first paragraph of that the heading below, the trim lines, it reads, kindly take notice that the disciplinary hearing charge sheet that was served on you on 20th November 2024, and which hearing has now been confirmed and agreed between the municipality and your legal representative, the details, last sentence of that paragraph, is hereby amended in the respect set out below. Then the document itself reflects the amendment effected, the detail of which is not particularly necessary at this juncture. Okay? So then I invite you to page 70. Page 70 is another charge sheet in trim lines under tab 7. Oh, sorry, tab 8. In trim lines, it reads, final amended charge sheet in respect of disciplinary hearing, incorporating the handwritten amendments to charges effected on 23/01/25. You see that?
Yes.
So that's a further amendment in January 2025.
Correct.
But the most important one I'm interested in is the one at page 17 under tab 4, which is a further amendment. And once again, the heading of that one is final amended charge sheet in respect of disciplinary hearing dated 4th June 2025. So earlier when I said to you that the original charge sheet is the 20th of November, then it goes through various iterations and amendments, with the last one being the one dated the 4th of June 25 at page 17. Now I want to invite you to consider page 19 of that document. You can look at 18. there is charge 1. At 19, from paragraph 4, it sets out the charge. And that is in relation to events that, according to this charge, arose on or about 2011. It's got some subs, so it's the one charge. And then it has a new heading, nature and an impact of the conduct aforesaid. Then overleaf, it's a space for signature. So between the 20th of November, where the prosecutor started with 12 charges spanning a period of 13 years, you accept that by the 4th of June, that charge sheet had been significantly amended to retain one charge of events arising from 2011. If you cast your eye on that charge,
Page 90.
page 19, yes.
90.
19.
Which document?
19.
19.
Yes.
Maybe
19.
19. Okay, charge.
Okay. Yes. Where it starts at 17. That's the final amended charge sheet dated 4th of July 2025. And the detail of the charge remaining is at page 19. And if you look at item 4 there, it gives the detail of the conduct complained of. The only point I seek to make there is that it arose from 2011, or in some date in 2011. Do you see that?
I'm sure we're not using the same document.
It's the last document you were referred
Yes,
to.
I received-
You asked what document Advocate Sillo was referring you to. She told
it
you
this one?
it's that last document. She has not changed. She has not changed. The
What
last
page are you
document.
on, sorry, Chair?
19.
Yes, and then do you have paragraph 4 at the top?
Yes, I do have.
Yeah. So the charge Advocate Sillo is referring to paragraph 4 and the subparagraphs and sub-subparagraphs under 4.
Thanks.
Okay. So if you go back then just to orientate you, you'll see at page 18, it's got a heading before item 3 that says charge 1. And the detail of that charge is what's set out at item 4, page 19, and this relates to events arising in 2011.
Correct.
When you look at that charge, you confirm that it does not involve allegations of rape.
Allegations of?
Rape,
Yes.
this charge.
Can
remaining.
I explain?
Yes, ma'am.
Rape, I indicated that rape was reported this year, July. And these charges were actually drawn in 2024, post the suspension.
If your statement at paragraph 144, no, I'm looking for your rape claim specifically.
50.1. Is it 50.1?
Yeah, we can have that one, but in the list of charges brought against Mr. Mapiyeye, one of them was a charge of rape. And that you will find in your annexure, I am 26 at page 102. And that is count 8.
Ms. Sillo, page 26, paragraph 163. It seems to me that you and the witness are on the same page because in her statement, she only lists one charge. She says, I'm advised that Chief Mapiyeye currently has the following charge and count against him, and that is the count, and it's one count on 163. And then Where the two of you maybe are losing each other was the witness's last answer, where she says the allegation of rape was only made in 2025. So when the charge sheet you're referring to was drafted, it doesn't include that because this is now 165 in the statement. So I think that's where the two of you were. And
Perhaps, and I accept that. And I think the misstep was caused by the fact that the original statement had quoted all the charges in their entirety. The signed statement, which is the updated statement from yesterday, there is an indication that only one charge remains. But that's a charge of 2011, right? And if we go back to your annexure, IM 26, I just want us to agree on record at page 102 that the charge of rape was count 8 and related to an incident of October 2023. You're looking at me, not the document.
Yes, I'm looking at you. We've agreed yesterday.
Okay, so you accept that that charge was withdrawn?
Yeah, we accepted that. We are going to concentrate on the amended charges. Can we talk to the amended charges?
There's only one charge left. I
Yes,
want us
can
to
we
agree that the rape charge that you spoke so much of yesterday was in fact in this process withdrawn, and that's charge 8. And I'm reading from
agree.
your annexure.
I
Yes, so
agree.
it was withdrawn, except you omitted to draw to the attention of the commissioners yesterday that the rape charge that you spoke so often about was in fact withdrawn.
And
Now-
I indicated that the victim should be afforded an opportunity to come and speak for herself, which she agreed.
And I think that is
About
correct.
the rape and the case.
That is
And I'm
correct,
not going to talk about it because I was not there.
Then you simply shouldn't have brought it to this commission if you can't talk about these things. It's only appropriate that you shouldn't have. But you did. And you spent time on your paragraph 50.1 where you unpack these issues.
And I supported my statement by saying I will request that the victim should come and respond for herself. I
Well-
remember vividly that I supported and qualified my statement when I made these allegations that the victim will therefore come and speak for herself.
Okay, perhaps I'll stop it there. You brought up these issues, and I submit. For your own, and forgive me if my choice of words is not right, ulterior purposes. And when you are confronted with them, and you are asked to clarify, then your response that the victim must come. This commission is not interested in subjecting victims to secondary abuse, which appears to be a solution to the problem as far as you're concerned. If you couldn't speak to them as a city manager, a person of your seniority, involving junior members in the force, you ought to have applied better judgment before you drag their names before this commission. And when you can't answer the questions further, you then say they must come themselves and speak to these issues. They never invited themselves here. And why should the commissioners do? That's highly responsible of you, Dr. Mashazi.
Can I remind you that in terms of the invite to this commission, I was afforded an opportunity to call any witness if I want to. And I have chosen to call this witness to come and testify on the issues that I've raised, especially the issue around rape and the issue around harassment.
But you,
Unless I was limited not to invite certain witnesses.
you ask witnesses to be called to speak on your behalf. An allegation of rape by a junior member in the force has got nothing to do with you. And that witness can't come and testify to that issue because you did not suffer that indignity. So you misunderstood the rule because clearly you understood it to mean you will throw mud at everybody, and if it doesn't stick, you will get a witness drag some witness out of a hole to present them before this commission so that your personal objectives are met. That's not what the rule intended. It intended for you to be able to call witnesses in your defense. These issues have got nothing to do with your defense. Perhaps that's what your program does. You used a junior's misfortune for your own purposes before this commission. It's sad enough. I don't want to engage on it. And I think as we leave here today, you should really go reflect and engage with this poor lady and stop using her or attempting to use her, because we will not permit you to use her in this environment. But that please don't try and use her for these purposes. Thank you.
Okay, can I pose a question? That chief of police was allowed to call Tipper as a witness, and I'm not allowed to call anyone to collaborate with my story. It is unfortunate, I accept it. I do not want to change the rule of the commission, but it is unfair on my part if I am limited in terms of choosing the kind of witness that what I want to choose. And she was prepared to come and respond, because there was allegation here in terms of Chief's assertion, the file that you gave me from Chief, that she accepted that she has actually withdrawn the case. And it is important for the commission to actually listen to a side of the story, irrespective of how your understanding is in terms of me using a junior to come and collaborate with my story. And I want to actually indicate that the four who came and made allegations against me, it took them a year to actually prepare those testimonies. They prepared over a year, and I was only allowed to prepare for 2 days to create my own statement. And I am allowed now to respond to these allegations that were made against me in 2 days.
Dr. Mashazi, let me just correct one error. You say Mr. Mapiyeye, Chief Mapiyeye was allowed to call Ms. Tipper as a witness, and you then ask, why aren't you allowed to call a witness? Here's the error you are making. Ms. Tipper was not called by Chief Mapiyeye. She was called by the evidence leaders on behalf of the commission. And the fact that we allowed her testimony to be led is because we found that her evidence is relevant to the terms of reference. So just to disabuse your mind on the idea that she was called by Chief Mapiyeye, she was not.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioners, unless Dr. Mashazi would like to add anything, or commissioners have questions to Dr. Mashazi, that is the testimony of Dr. Mashazi before this commission. Thank you.
Dr. Mashazi, on this topic that you've been discussing with Ms. Sello, you have attached, you've given us as part of your documents, IM 28, if you go to your annexes, which is a letter from your attorneys to the commission. But maybe even before I raise with you what I want to raise about this, let me first maybe just to clear what I think may be a misconception from what you have repeatedly said from yesterday, about the opportunity that you've had to prepare. Your attorneys wrote to the commission on the 14th of November. That's according to your bundle. You've given us a letter on the 14th of November. And you find that at page 10 of your bundle. And in that page 10 of your bundle, your attorneys say that emanating, and I quote, emanating from the evidence submitted at the commission for the past few days that affects her in her erstwhile position and personally, that she be provided with statements and transcripts wherein reference is mentioned about her in order for her rebuttal of same in an affidavit substantiated with documentary evidence. So already at on the 14th of November, you were aware that allegations have been made against you at that point. So you didn't become aware of what is being alleged against you only on the 25th or last week. As at the 14th, you offered, you want to come to the commission, and I think that's what you said yesterday. You said you want to come, and it's because you had become aware of allegations being made. I'm correct, right? On the 14th?
You're
yes.
correct.
I just wanted to make the simple point that as at the 14th of November, you, from whether media or wherever, you had become aware that things are being alleged against you and you wanted to respond to them.
Yes, I became aware on the 14th.
Yes.
But in terms of their testimony, what is important is the relevancy of their testimony to my response. Whatever is said in the media cannot be used as a response, or I cannot use it to actually respond to the commission. I can only respond to the commission with the testimony that was presented in the commission, which I received on the 25th of November.
I accept that. I was simply making that simple point, and maybe to add to it that on the website we do have the transcript and documents. But that's not the important part of what I want to raise with you. In your IM 28, which is a letter from your attorneys, the later attorneys, after you changed, you explained yesterday why you changed attorneys. You have attached medical reports of two people who make the allegations against Chief Mapiyeye. I'm concerned why these documents are being placed before us. Did you get permission to disclose medical reports of these two people from them? They are dated, well, maybe I should ask an anterior question. The one is dated the August 2024, and this is the person that is referred to in the charge sheet. You've agreed that you won't disclose their name, and I won't either. But that's in August 2024. And then the next one at page 132 is a different person that you haven't mentioned in your statement, and they are not in the charge sheet. They're not mentioned in the charge sheet. It's at 132, and that too is a report in August 2024. That's your IM 28. And both of them are medical reports. How did you get hold of these documents?
I got them from the victim.
They gave them to you?
Yes.
When they came to you?
They gave me the report when, I think during the week as we're preparing. Because
so you are already out of the municipality when they give you these documents?
Yes.
Okay. And did they know that you were going to disclose them to the commission?
They're aware, she's aware.
Okay. So they gave you permission that these can be publicized because our records go onto our website. And this is highly confidential material, as you would know, medical reports. There's confidentiality obligations. You have served them before us. What are we to do with this when we upload our documents onto the website? Do you have permission to disclose these publicly as you've now done?
Yes, she gave me permission, and she also indicated that she wants to come and testify. Hence,
Yes.
I've actually included the documents.
No, we have your word so far. As far as I'm aware, they haven't approached the commission. So I'm not having that I'm not debating that with you. Maybe they did say that to you. I'm just concerned about how are we expected as a commission to deal with these documents. And if you are saying to us that you have permission that these can be part of our public record, I would ask, it should come from the chairperson, but because I'm raising the issue with you, I would like to see it in an affidavit from you that you have permission and that it is confirmed by these two individuals that this can be part of a public record.
Correct. I'll go back to her because she requested to be part of this when she gave me the documents.
Okay.
For the fact that I sourced the documents from her, it means she's prepared to come before the commission and talk to the
Yeah,
documents.
I just want to be sure. I think the commission will be happier having authorization from the owner of these documents that they should be published. And if we don't have that authorization, we probably would have to consider expunging it from our record.
Thank you.
Right. I see, Chair, I see Ms. Dr. Mashazi's attorney wanted to say something. I don't want to shut him down. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Musa.
Yes, Chair. Commissioners, very briefly, I think with matters that are so sensitive, it would be more appropriate to obtain an affidavit from the victim herself, just to protect all parties, and that is the one point I wanted to raise. The second point being the aspects dealt with under question 13 are not entirely aspects introduced by Dr. Mashazi out of free will to advance her own personal ulterior motives, but on invitation by the evidence leader under point 13 to deal with the aspects of the charge sheet, the notice of suspension. And, you know, I'm tempted many times throughout the last 2 days to intervene, but obviously it's not the platform to do so. But I do feel the last part was a bit of an unfair character attack on Dr. Mashazi in the sense that she didn't come voluntarily and produce a charge sheet, the notice of suspension, etc. She was asked to obtain information by the evidence leader, which she did. And the one she does fully comply and obtain as much information as she can, she sort of wrapped around her. So it was just 2 points that, if I don't mention it, doesn't sit well with me. The first one I think is more critical, but the second point is something my learned colleague Peter indicated to me, that they're asking us to do it, we do it, and this is what comes off it. So apologies for overstepping, but it was just 2 things that I think, and it's the last 2 things I say in passing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Musa. Thank you. Do we leave it at that? Mr.
Yes, except maybe to say, is it possible to give Dr. Mashazi and Mr. Musa an opportunity to consider the issues raised by Commissioner Baloyi and to determine the necessity of filing the affidavit vis-a-vis expungement of those documents, regard being heard to the testimony of Dr. Mashazi? So let them make the call. And then
The
advance.
evidence leaders and the legal representatives will come back to us on that. Thank you very much. Dr. Mashazi, anything to say perhaps in conclusion?
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Commission for allowing me to state my side of the story. And I want to truly apologize if yesterday I came across as being restless or not in compliance with your rules. The Commission would understand that this is my first appearance, especially in a sort of a court of law where you are cross-examined. And I did not expect this, to be honest, that I'm going to be cross-examined. I thought I'm going to be asked questions to clarify and give evidence to assist the Commission to make a recommendation to the President. But unfortunately, the cross-examination actually took me out of my character. And at some point, especially the first session in the morning, I was not like in compliance with your rules, and I truly apologized. Is my apology accepted?
Speaking for myself, yes. I'm saying speaking for myself, yes. I cannot speak for the chair.
Thanks.
Dr. Mashazi, thank you very much. Oh, I did not hear that part. I was whispering to my colleague, Commissioner Valoi.
Nothing. Sure, I would do honestly.